Hello, Happy New Year. Welcome to my home. My name is Lisa, and this is my channel about stitching. Today we're going to be doing a whip parade and going through my projects, and I'm going to try to make a game plan for this new year that we're beginning and try to make a plan. So I thought I'd video it and see if it might be enjoyable to you guys too. So there is a few things as I went through that I am going to restart on different fabric, but we'll get to that when I get to those projects. So we're just going to get started. I hope you're stitching and enjoying your Sunday. Okay, so my first whip is going to be Yuletide at Thistle Hill. And I have quite a bit of it done. I'm just doing my own colors, but they're pretty close to what it looked like in the picture. My goal for this next year ahead of us is I'm going to be paying more attention to what fabric I'm using and what threads. I'm going to be writing them down diligently, and that's going to be my plan. Hold me to it if I act up and I don't follow through. Okay, this is probably my longest or oldest whip. It's Jardin Privé, and it's History of Sheep. And it came in like 4 or 5 sections. I'm not sure. I think 4. And so I think it's going to be one of my goals this year to finish this up for sure. This is going to be one of my focus ones. There we go. It's kind of getting blown out a little bit. Most of this side over here is finished. I just have a little bit of things to do. I have a house down there by that big sheep, and then I have one more section to do, but it's in really good shape, so I need to buckle down and finish that one. My plan is, I think, to put it in my master bath. I'm in the bedroom now, and I think I'm going to put it in my master bathroom. I have a lot of sheep things in there, and I think it'll go pretty well. Along with these two, this is Plum Street, the Wool and Flax Company, and it's actually out in my car. It's my project that I keep in my car for in case of you have extra time and you need something to do. And I meant to bring it in yesterday and I forgot. And so I also have the Milk and Cream Company. So I thought I would, I'm doing them on the same fabric, and I thought I would frame them and, sorry. I thought I would frame them and hang them side by side. So, sorry, and my plan was yesterday, I thought, oh, I should go in there and just iron everything and have it looking so professional. And yeah, I didn't get that done. So, but anyway, I think those 3 might be one of the first things I want to work on and see if I can really make some headway there. Okay, and this one has been hanging around for a long time too. This is a Stacy Nash Primitives pattern, and it's called Rabbit Hollow Farm. And yeah, I've had this one for quite a while. I just am doing it on some fabric that I over dyed with tea and coffee, and I'm using my own color scheme. And so I'm almost done. I just have a little bit more to do on that barn, some more of this little satin stitch border, and then a couple rows of grass at the bottom. because I am not going to write Rabbit Hollow at the bottom. I'm just going to be done. So, and my color schemes in my bedroom has a lot of maroon and whatnot, so I thought this would look pretty in my bedroom too. So I'm running out of wall space, so I'm going to have to start rearranging some things in here and making room for some of this stuff. Okay, so this one is A Quaker Welcome by Lila Studios. This one has been in there for a while too. I did make a little bit of progress this last year, but I'm really loving it, so I need to pay attention. Well, I think you're going to probably hear that a lot. I'm going to hear it's the same thing, I think, with everybody. I just watched the Sable Stitchers, and they were saying, oh, I got to get to this one. Oh, I got to get back to this one. Oh, I love this one. I think that's a common theme with us. We like all of it, or else we wouldn't have started it, right? Okay, so this one is Bless Our Home by La-Di-Da. And I'm changing a lot of the colors on this one. And as you know, when you change colors, it kind of can add to some complications in your process. But, well, that's upside down. So, this is how much I have done on this one. Gosh, and I wish I could plug in some different lights, but I don't really have any in here, other than my overhead light. So I have a little bit more than half of the flowers done for the border, and I have the vine that goes all the way around, so I know it all connects. I started this one in 2020. So, but this one is not calling my name, so this one's gonna go in the inactive basket, I believe, unless by some miracle I get a lot of things higher up on the list done. I don't know, there's some decisions I have to make on what color I want to do the house, and do I want to do that verse or do I want to do something else? And so that's kind of stalled me out a little bit. Okay, so this is just a little small, and I want to say, is it by Whilst Iris Naps, maybe? Did she do like 3 carrots in a row? Was it Liz Matthews? I'm not sure. I know it's just on my phone, but it is a freebie. So, but that's going to be in my, also in my pile to work on right away, because I want to get some spring stuff set aside to decorate with. Now this one I love. It's Peace, Love, and Purpose. And it was supposed to be done on 36 count, but I did it on a piece of Lugana that I think is 25 count, and I've been doing it over 1. And I love it, but it's a little bit hectic. Not hectic. It's not enjoyable. I have to do poke and stab method, and it's very slow going. And this fabric, my stitch will, oh, what's the word I'm trying to say? When you pull it, it goes straight up and down. So I don't know if I didn't start in the right thread, or if it's just the fabric I'm using, but I can't do sewing method, so that's gonna go in the timeout section too. I'll probably restart it. Along with this one, this is Honey Hill Hamlet by Artful Offerings. And this one is going to be a restart, I believe. I enjoy the color and the look of the fabric, but it's very thin, and so you can't carry or even think about carrying your threads. And so I think I'm going to restart that. We'll see. Oh, I've had this one for a while too. This is Pincushion Street by Heartstring Samplery. It's a really sweet little, well, it's a big house. There's something in me in big houses. So I have most of the verse at the top done, and I have maybe probably less than half of the roof done. But I was having a hard time deciding on what color I was going to do the house, and kind of got a little stalled out with that. We'll see. I also have another Plum Street, A Winter Welcome, and this one was supposed to be done on 36 count, but it was another one of those deals where I wanted to start it for Mania, and I just used some Aida that I coffee tea dyed. I want to say it's like a 20 count. And so, super tiny. Another instance where I have to do the poke and stab method, and not my most enjoyable stitch, but I'm so far along that I feel like to restart it would be kind of silly. So I will persevere with that, but that'll be something maybe I'll play around with next year during the winter time. There's not much to show on this one, but it's a freebie by Teresa Kogut, and it says create every day. And so I don't have a picture of that one, and I don't have much of that one done yet either, but I'm hoping to get back to that. This one is a Mania start, and it's super tiny. It's just some orange and cream buffalo check type of deal, and it's one of the Stitching with the Housewives, I think it's Fancy Carrots. It was one of their first tidbits, I think. This is another one that I don't think I'm going to finish. This was a Brenda Gervais. It was that freebie Mystery Sal, Mary and Minty. And I have like the border at the top done. I have the tree and the reindeer. But I think I might just take the reindeer and the tree and make a little ornament out of it. And just move on. Which is something I can't believe I'm saying, to move on a Brenda Gervais, because she's probably one of my favorites. But there's just so much I want to stitch and so little energy that I'm just going to try to be realistic. So this one is a Blackbird design. It's called Strawberry Fields Forever. I picked my own colors on this. Instead of a gray Stonewall, I wanted it to be browns and tans. And so that's pretty much all I've got done on that so far. And I think that's another one that's going to probably go in the timeout. And I'm going to be kind of sounding like a broken record about the timeout thing, but I'm just being realistic about what I really want to stitch. So, Spell of the Moon. Let me find the picture here. Okay, so Spell of the Moon. I've restarted this one twice. This was my first attempt. The fabric was really see-through. My coverage wasn't that good. And then I really totally screwed up on what color I was supposed to use down here in the tree trunk. I thought I could just blend it and make it look like it was maybe over-dyed thread or something. Well, it was a fail. So I decided to restart it on this Aida that I coffee tea dyed. But for some reason, I'm just not feeling this one either. So we'll see. Might get to it. Might give up. We'll see. I have a La-Di Da Witch Witch. This one was gifted to me. And I have quite a bit of her done. But there's a major, well, there's a mistake in where her dress starts, and so my plan was just to do these little designs in the skirt, to just go ahead and do those and then just fill in, and so I might still do that. We'll see. I was wise on this one. I didn't fill in the date. I just put the 10/31. Okay. And then this one, I don't know where the chart is or the picture. I couldn't find it. I had it in a project bag with other things for fall. And I was planning on just redoing this one too, because I hate the coverage in the house. But then I got to look and it's like, oh my gosh, Lisa, you're almost, I would say I was probably halfway done. And I thought, well, that's just silly to restart it when you're halfway done. So we'll see. I might even take the thread and just go over the house one more time. We'll see. But yeah, I just did my own colors, and I just wasn't happy at all with the colors I picked for that. Oh dear. And then I was doing a freebie by Not Forgotten Farm. This was one of those Be Well and Stitch on Instagram where a lot of designers did freebies. And so hers was Be Calm. And so I just have to finish the sunflower and do some more bees. So I'm excited to get back to that one. I hope this is interesting enough for you guys. Are you still there? Okay, so this one I am definitely not putting on the back burner. This one I'm excited about. This one's a Red House sampler by Brenda Keys and the Sampler Company. And unlike their like orangey red house, I am doing a blue house. So this is pretty much all I've got done yet right now, is just the bottom corner. But this one's fun. So I'm thinking this I might try to make my Sunday stitch and then see if I could really make some headway, because Sunday is probably my best day to stitch. And so I thought, well, if I make that my Sunday stitch, maybe I can really make some progress. Okay, so on this fabric I have two projects. I have Summer Breeze by Prairie Schooler, and I'm doing the larger chart. And then I also have Autumn Leaves, also the larger chart, with the plan that I would finish it for the same, do the same finishing for both, and be able to swap it out. for the season. So that was the Summer Breeze side. Very close to a finish on that. And then there's quite a ways to go on the Autumn Leaves side. So there's not much wiggle room in this particular design. Like some of the things only have one square in between motifs, so if you get off, it's kind of a big deal. So I have to be in the right frame of mind to do that one. Okay, so this one is Shakespeare's Peddler Scissors. And this was a Mania start, and I have very little on here. And I think it's going to be one of those issues where I'm not going to care for the coverage. So that might be a restart. We'll see. And another one that I'm not crazy about the coverage. And this is called Sweetheart Hill. I had started this a while back with Barb. She's long got hers finished. And I'm still putzing away at it. This is, let's see. This is how much I have done so far. So I have half of the hill. And I have almost all of the white stitching at the bottom done. But I have a lot to go on this house. So, and the coverage is terrible. And normally I like that coverage. I like it to look a little bit more dainty than necessarily really deep coverage, but somehow when it's a dark color like a red or a brown, it's I don't know. Different, I guess, in my head when it's those colors. So I have A Gentleman's Daughter by Plum Street. I love this one, but I'm having trouble with my colors that I picked not necessarily showing up on my linen, so I have to come up with a green that will go with the green I already have done. But yeah, I don't have much to do. Just have to do the verse at the bottom, or the saying, I mean, and then all that grass and some sheep. So anyway, but I really like that one. All right, another Plum Street, A Shepherd's Song. This one I've gotten quite a bit done on. Almost all the way done with 3/4 of the border. And I started one of these little sheep down here in the bottom. It shows up better in person than it is in here. So, it would have been so much better ironed, huh? So, but yeah, I did I didn't mark my color scheme very well, and so I've used 2 different colors of black. I've used something coffee, black coffee maybe, and onyx. And so I had done like this whole section, like by the windows, I had done that whole thing in one color, and then when I came and worked on it again, I did all of this in 40 count in the wrong color, and I'm not taking out that much in 40 count. So what I've decided to do is I'm just gonna intermix in kind of bigger chunks the different blacks and just go with it, because ain't nobody pulling out that much. Well, probably somebody would, but I won't pull that much out in 40 count. No. Okay, so this one I was making really good progress on. This is a La-Di-Da chart, and it's Humble and Kind. And this one I was doing as a memorial for my mom. I had started it last April, on the anniversary of her passing, it was the 1-year anniversary of her passing. And so I'm changing some of the colors to represent one of my mom's favorite homes. And it was a white home with a green door, green shutters. And so that's the reasoning for changing the color scheme. Although I don't really need a reason. And so instead of saying humble and kind, I'm going to do my mom and my dad's name, Charles and Betty, and like the date of their marriage, I believe. But yeah, I don't have much more to do. I really think all I have to do is yeah, I just have to put their name and date on there, and that'll be finished. So maybe I'll try to play with that today. I did pull out, when I was going through these, I had a little small piece that was, I think by Hewitt Samplers. And all I had to do was the over one bird and little dog. And so I spent a couple hours this morning and got that done. So I already have my first whip of the year done. Our first finish of the year. Albeit very small. But we'll take it. Finish is a finish, right? Okay, so this one is Miss Baxter's house. One of my favorites. All I have to do now is figure out, and what I should just do is see what the called for color is for the chickens and the rooster, and just do it. And quit changing colors all around. But the border is all finished. Oh, I should have pressed it. It would have been so much prettier. But yeah, the border is all done. And it matched up. I was very excited. I didn't have to fudge my way through, but I was prepared to do that with no problem. So I just basically have to do that lady and the chickens at the bottom, and then that bee and a star at the side. So yeah, I think that's definitely a doable one too. And then I might have some finishes. I have so many that need fully finished in my sewing room. I just have them sitting everywhere. And so I need to make that a priority too, to get some of the things framed and made into pillows and finish them. Okay, so this one is another Plum Street, and it's called Liberty Inn. I think this one's so pretty. I'm doing my own color scheme. And coming along pretty good with it. I would say I'm just about halfway with the house. The fence is all done. I have both of the flowers done, so then I just have some more stars and the date to do up at the top. So yeah, some of these bigger ones are almost done. So, okay, so these are some of the ones that I have decided to just disregard. I'm not going to finish them. They were Mania starts, and I was just using, wow, this isn't near as bright as this, but it's definitely bright. It was just a little freebie off Pinterest. And so, I don't know, I might see if I could tea dye it and tone it down a little bit, and then see if Loretta wants it. Because she likes to stitch on Ada, and I just don't. And these are some of my favorites. These are by Melissa at Pinker and Pumpkin. And this is her Patriotic Shaker, and I think the Spring Shaker House. But although I love the look of this fabric, I cannot stand stitching on it. And I cannot find any of my threads that I was using. And so I just had gone to the L&S right before Christmas and bought some new fabric. And so I think I'm going to save one of them just for her shaker houses and start those, because she has so many. And I think it would be so cool to have them all on the same fabric or pretty close. So that's going to be a restart. And then this was gifted to me by Loretta, and I was going to make it into a drum. But once again, I was using some fabric that I got from the thrift store, and it's just real crispy and not fun to stitch on. And so we don't have time to stitch on things that aren't fun. So anyway, unless I have some stashed other places, I think that's everything. That was all I could find in my normal spots where I keep my whips. So, and I didn't even bother counting them, but as I go to put them away, I'll try to get a count and maybe I can remember. But let's face it, I don't ever put things in the description box. I promise you faithfully, and I sincerely mean that I'm going to do it, and then I never do it. So, anyway. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my whip parade. I hope everybody is having a great day as you're stitching or whatever you're doing today. I hope you're finding some joy. I hope everyone is going to have a wonderful 2023. And as a little giveaway, I also ran across this little notebook that I had made. It's a Sabrosa freebie chart that I got off Pinterest, and I just turned my edges of my fabric under and just did a big X stitch to hold it down. It's kind of wrinkled. I had it in my box of project bags, and anyway, I just made a little fabric cover over a little composition notebook. And so but I'm real bad about writing things down. Although I do have a folder that I've been trying to do it, and I think I'm just going to continue using it because I still have plenty of paper left in it, and that way it'll all be together. So I was thinking about starting a new one, but I think this would be nicer just to send to one of you. So if you're interested in just a little notebook cover, if you just would write notebook in your comment below, and I will pick a winner on a later date. I don't know that it'll be on my very next video, just because I think I'm going to try to do another video later on today for just my normal floss tube update, and I will post that, you know, later on in the week or whatever. But while I have everything out, I think I'm just going to film another one. That's my goal, is to try to be a little bit more consistent, to try to look at the camera instead of the display, and try to write in the description box. So, anyway, and if you want, you could give me the number of how many whips you have in your stash, how many projects you have going, and but you don't have to. You could say you don't care or you don't want to know. It's all good. But just say notebook if you're interested in the giveaway. So hope y'all have a great day. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.